Dorothy, and I'm back again to go over the Dream Maker. This time, this is layout 2 for the Dream Maker scrapbooking workshop. So I have got all the pieces that are cut and ready to go. I did do some different stuff though, because I really like the paper. This striped paper has this wonderful splatter pattern on the back side of it, and I thought that would be really cute for maybe a birthday, something festive and celebratory. And so I am using White Daisy instead of their suggested thing of using the striped paper as the base page. So I'm using 2 pieces of White Daisy. See, I love that splatter pattern. So I cut it down to 6 inches. So that way I get to have a full piece of the striped paper to use on another layout. So I'm just taking all my pieces and sticking them to the White Daisy. So first I put down the zip strip that's these cute little watercolor hearts to go along with our watercolor rainbow pattern here. And so this is an 1/8 of an inch strip of black that's going down there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put with the lagoon on the right-hand side, I'm going to adhere that to the White Daisy. And then this is a 1/2 inch piece that actually came from the very top of that particular paper right below it. So I'm putting that there just to fill in a gap. It could actually stay white and not be a big deal. So I'm lining up the colors so that the red stripe and the red watercolor look are lined up together. And that's what you want to do. You want to have your colors line up together. And then a piece of 1/4 inch black is going along the top. So there we have our base page all put together. These pieces are the photo mounts for 4x4 pictures. And they're all cut in the black. So they're going to go on there a little askew. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 4x4 just to kind of give you a bit of a visual. And we're just putting 3 on this side. So look at how it's just, I think it's really neat to have the black accent on these pastel colors. It's just really, really sharp looking. So I don't want to put my Tombow all the way to the top because I'm going to be tucking loads of pictures. I'm going to take a little bit of the Tombow off there. So I'm going to be tucking loads of pictures underneath the top edge. So like I said, these are going a little askew. So I'm putting this foam tape so that I can pop up this picture a little bit, and I'm going to take one piece off and just the inside piece so that it doesn't interfere with a photo going kind of scooching underneath it. So now what you want to do, once again, we're lining up the colors to go along with the colors in the with the stripe pattern and with the watercolor. So we just want to have the lemonade where the lemonade stripes are, and the lagoon where the lagoon stripes are, and the periwinkle to the side there, and Sundance. There's some more lagoon. And what is it, ballerina? Anyway, so those are all of the flowers that are going to go underneath. So some are going to get popped up, but some of them are going to go flat. Some are going to go behind the picture, and some are going to go in front of the picture. So, but nothing's going to really interfere with any of the pictures that are going there. So now this little fun kind of a wreath is going to go down to the bottom, and we're going to pull out several of the flowers, not flowers, leaves. I always want to call the leaves flowers for some reason. And I'm also pulling out some of the dragonflies from this die cut. So we're going to put a leaf down there along with three other leaves, or three altogether, I should say. So those are going to go right there with that wreath. So look at I love the flowers. Okay, so I've got my pictures in place, so I can just start putting the pictures down. So I'm going to put one under and then pop one up, and it's going to be, excuse me, just kind of overlapping the top of the picture just a little bit. Most of these are going behind. So, and I'm using my leftover pieces from shaker windows to pop things up. That one was stuck there to the other flower, but that's okay. So there's a lemonade. So it's kind of over and under. There we go. So I'm just continuing to do that. Now I'm getting into the Sundance colors. And see, those flowers were colored with, they were stamped with the line detail stamp. And so they're a little modelly looking, and that's sort of what we're going for. So not looking for precise on this. So I really like this kind of, that kind of a look. So we're going to tuck some under there and then add a little tombow to my leaf. And those leaves have texture. So, I mean, there's actually lines in them, very fine lines. So the background color kind of comes through, but only up close and personal because you sure can't see it on the video. So I'm going to go ahead and put tombow down on our wreath here. And also on the leaves. And I'm just giving a little bend to these leaves because they're sticking kind of out there by themselves. And so I'm using a piece from the shaker window and just adding a little bit of dimension to those leaves on the wreath. So not a whole lot, just a little bit. But it's kind of hard when you're tucking things behind to put any kind of bend to them. So I just did it on the wreath leaves. Okay, so what I start doing here is kind of centering the word perfect, and then I realize I'm too far off to the right, and I have to pick up the pieces. So I'm going an inch above the 1/8 of an inch black line. So I'm just kind of using my ruler as a means to get the letters straight. So this is when at some point I realize, oh, there's another word that has to fit in there. And so, yeah, we get all the way down to the very last letter. And then I realize, okay, now I've got to move all of these over. And so I have them kind of snugged up to each other. So I like that gold. I think it's really pretty. And then in black, in the die cut, there's the word day. So it is going to get tombowed down, and it's going to go off right to the very end, and I'm going to kind of get a little bit of gold on the center of the D. So perfect day. So pretty. Now, they have, they kind of show you that we use a kind of a rosy colored heart and except it's the Sundance. Sundance and what else? Anyway, I eventually figured out. I was thinking that this got Starburst, but I think it's actually the next one. So I start pulling out all the little hearts because they do have a bunch of tiny hearts on this this layout. So I'm pulling all the little bitty hearts off. And there's quite a few. They're kind of hidden here and there. And some are a little bit, see, some are smaller and some are a little bit bigger. And then there's one that's even bigger. So I'm just kind of pulling them off so I kind of save a little bit of time. Here's another bigger one. So they're so tiny, they're hard to pick up. And they're so tiny, they're also hard to glue. It would be probably easier to use a little bit of liquid glue, but I didn't do that. So sorry. I'm usually too close to the bottom, and now I'm too close to the top. It's because the camera had to get flipped around and it wasn't acting right. I apologize. Spend my life apologizing for where my camera is in the wrong place. So I'm just kind of looking. The instructions are just a little bit small to kind of see the detail really good. But you know what? These I found, these are called bursts. And we have some color bursts that we're using from the sticker sheet. So there's like one of them. And I thought, well, you know, I've got some black enamel dots that I'm going to use on there. And I've also got these black bursts that would be fun to use on there because they'll sure stick out nicely. See, there they are. That's called a burst. So, and I'm just kind of popping them here and there. There's some of my hearts up at the top. Now I'm going to start on the second page on the right-hand page. And we're just going to go do the same exact thing. The hearts are going to go down at the bottom. And this time the lagoon goes to the left side. And that's because you want the lagoon from the right and the left to come together. So that you've got the from red to blue and then blue to red. So I'm just making sure that I've got them lined up correctly, and then I've got to scooch that little bit of the 1/8 of an inch up. And then my little 1/2 inch piece goes to fill in the gap there. And there's my other 6-inch piece. So I was really happy that I got to save a whole sheet of that lined and splatter paper. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but that's what I'm going to have a whole sheet to do something with. And there's still some papers that came in these packages that did not get used in these layouts. So, excuse me, and really beautiful papers. So the splatter and the line paper will look good because the other papers are a little bit busy. So now this one gets these pictures, it's a 4x6 and then 2 4x4s. And those aren't going to go, excuse me, askew. They're going to go straight. And I'm just trying to make sure that they're closely aligned with the pictures from the left-hand page. So I'm just trying to get them lined up. And then I am going to put some inside foam strips there so that I can pop this picture up from the 2 on either side of it. So the foam is going to go right there in between and get raised up a little bit. Boop. There we go. And we have some big old strips for journaling that go into here. And once again, we're going to line up the flowers so that they go along with the colors on the pages. We've got a yellow, but there's no place to put the yellow. So we'll see what happens. What will I do with it? Okay, so here's my black strips, and I was going to use these, but I think what I'm going to do is do other strips. I forgot I had some white strips up at the top there that got mixed up with somebody else, with another one of the layouts. So they go with this. So since I already had those cut, I decided to use those instead of the pre-made journaling pieces. So, and you can write a lot on these. There's a lot of room for writing. I happen to love this layout. I think this layout is really gorgeous. And I'm just kind of eyeballing to get these lined up. And you can make them kind of go a little this way and a little that way, and that way you don't have to line them up. You know, sometimes lining up just looks too much for words. You want to have a little askew here and there just so you don't get too into perfect. Even though it's a perfect day, is the name of it. So I'm going to pop out this big dragonfly, and it's going to go on that pretty heart with the gold stripes on it. And I'm going to pop it up with the thin foam dots. So it's just sitting up a little bit from the background of the heart. It's just so wild how that black against the pastels is just so striking. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but it just looks so sharp. And I'm adding these little hearts here and there where so there's the lemonade heart. And then we've got a lagoon burst. And then some of the little black die cuts. So, I'm going to go ahead and start putting all the flowers down. You know, once you have them in place, then putting the tombow on is no big deal. So I'm just going to, you know, like I did before, I'm just going to stick a couple of them out. Guess I'll put the yellow one up there, right there by the lagoon. They don't show that in the instructions, but that's what I'm doing. And then we've got a Sundance one, and then ballerina and flamingo. And we're popping one up. I have to tell you, I really love these layouts. I think they're just absolutely wonderful. And I'm trying to find what I'm missing. So I'm going to put some little enamel dots down of the two smaller sizes. And I'm thinking that I have to do some stamping, but I actually find the Laugh Often is actually the title that they're using over one of the 4x6 picture. So I was thinking that I'd had to stamp it, but I couldn't find Laugh Often as one of the phrases on the stamp set, and that's when I realized that it was a sticker. So here I am looking, and it doesn't say Laugh Often. So it's like, oh, there it is. That's even better. So easy. So what I'm going to do is just edge it a little bit, just a teeny bit in the black, and just make it stick out a little bit, and then tuck it under my lemonade flower. So are these just so pretty? I think they're just so pretty. Okay, we need to have a leaf. So just like the left-hand side, we want to have some on the right-hand side, and that's where it's going, right there with the flowers. Look at that. Is that not wonderful? I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But it has something to do with these papers. These papers are really exceptional. Look at that. I'm so happy with that. And I'm not bragging on myself because I just followed instructions, but look how pretty. Somebody did a nice job making that layout. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.